There's never been a more exciting time to try to make money from the financial markets. With the world bouncing back from the market crash of 2008, there are new opportunities everywhere. Experts at the City Index Trading Academy say they can teach anyone to be successful. And to prove it, they've chosen 8 aspiring traders to take part in a new competition. The winner will pick up a cash prize of £100,000.
If I put my mind to something, it gets done.
I am in it to win it, and I want to go all the way.
I will give 110%.
2 of City Index's top market analysts will be trying to turn our competitors into superstar traders as they battle it out in the global markets.
You can't be a gambler. If you're treating this as a roll of the dice, then you have no edge.
Each week, the competition will get tougher, the stakes will get higher, and traders who can't keep up will pay the price.
Our traders should consistently visualize the winning trade. It's out there, it can happen, it will happen, and they can make it happen.
And for one City Index Trading Academy graduate, there's the ultimate prize and the skills to make money from the markets for the rest of their life. It's nearly the end of the second week's challenge, and it'll soon be time for our expert analysts to decide who'll be leaving the academy this week. Last week, Client Services Executive John Walsh finished at the top of the table, while recruitment consultant James Absalom became the first trader to be eliminated from the academy.
James, I'm afraid your trading account is now closed.
The guy that I was up against overtraded and lost again. I just think it'd be very interesting to see how he does. Can he teach an old dog new tricks? I'm not sure.
As 25-year-old James left the academy for the last time, the 7 remaining competitors were set their second trading challenge.
You are all through to week 2 of the competition, which means that you're one step closer to winning £100,000. You'll be spread betting across a whole range of indices from around the world.
Hopefully next week I can follow up and finish first again.
I definitely think I've learned my lesson. Next week will prove whether I actually have or not.
Once again, the first part of the week saw them trading wherever and whenever they wanted. And after the first day of trading, the table looked like this. Having finished top in the first challenge, John Walsh had again started well and had an early lead over Shazad Asher in second place. At the bottom of the table, last week's runner-up Hilary Leiter had dropped into the elimination zone, along with company director Martin Baker. Despite being handed a second chance last week, John Mack was firmly at the bottom of the table.
I thought I was going to do a lot better this week because I thought I'd learnt my lesson from a number of mistakes last week, but yesterday was truly disastrous. I mean, I lost over 10% of the equity on the account.
Just 24 hours into the second challenge, former super yacht captain Mack looked to be sailing very close to the wind.
The main emotion is frustration because I can see that I am not going to last to the end. If I'm in the boardroom again, I have no idea how I will talk my way out of it.
Ahead of the second challenge, Humanist celebrant Hilary had been confident that the Keep It Simple strategy that saw her finish second in week 1 was the key to future success.
When the market goes up, there are green bars, and when the market goes down, there are red bars. There's a wave of green and a wave of red, so when I see a green bar and it looks like there's going to be another green bar, I'll put on a buy trade, and as soon as it gets to the top and I can begin to see those red bars coming, I close out, I make a tenner. I won't say it's easy, but it's easy. I am starting to think that I will genuinely be in this all the way every single week.
But as the traders arrive at City Index for the final day of trading, it looks like Hilary's confidence was misplaced and she's slipped into the elimination zone. John Mack sits in last place, while Shazad Asher has dropped from second to 6th to complete the bottom 3. However, with Jamie Hanmore only just safe in 4th place, a successful morning's trading from Hilary could see her avoid the possibility of elimination.
In terms of Hilary and Jamie, there's not a big gap between them at this point. What concerns me a little bit about Jamie is he's manually closing trades after seeing a very small loss, so he's trading based upon fear. So I think Hilary has a chance to trade herself to safety and leave Jamie in the elimination zone.
So our traders are reaching the end of the second week in the City Index Trading Academy, and it's been a very close-fought competition. And the bottom 3 places are still not all confirmed. So what happens in the next 60 minutes could be crucial.
Unfortunately for Hilary, the markets are moving in ways she doesn't expect, and she's finding that the simple rules she traded by in week 1 are less suited to these more challenging conditions.
I don't know whether it will go down or not.
No one does.
Well, then why are you doing it?
They go down and go up. They want to do it. They want to be millionaires.
Well, what do I know? What do
Just go with the trend. Just go with what you see.
I don't know what I'm doing. I take too literally what they tell me, and that's why I'm down.
With the 12 o'clock deadline fast approaching, and despite some advice from journalist Ryan, Hilary still hasn't placed a single trade and remains in the bottom 3.
You know, you'd only need a 10-15 pip stop above that trend line.
Right.
But she's confident she's done enough to survive.
I won't be sent home because John's made the £600 loss and he can't stop losing, and I don't understand what he's doing, you know? It's weird.
It's been another bad week for former yacht captain Mac. Despite an impressive £502 profit on day 2 of the challenge, a disastrous final 2 days leave him with the worst ROI of any trader and needing to chart a course to safety for a second week.
This is a tremendous opportunity, and I've blown it. Due to my own overexcitement, I have put it all in future opportunity in jeopardy. Even though I've had a disastrous week, I would hope the judges can see that I have learnt and that I have made every effort to put into practice what they've taught me.
Another trader who struggled with the pressure this week is 27-year-old Shazad Asher. Chasing his losses has dropped him into the bottom 3.
I made the error of becoming impatient, and once I made the loss, I chased my loss, and that's another error. I had a meltdown, I've accepted that, and there's nothing I can do about it now. I've just got to face the consequences.
With trading finished, it's 29-year-old John Walsh who once again finishes in first place. Despite being the only one of the bottom 3 to attempt to trade himself to safety, Mac remains in last place, with Shazad and Hilary unchanged above him. All 3 will have to explain themselves to James and Ashraf and face the prospect of going home in the second week of the competition.
OK, James, Ashraf, trading's finished. What do we make of the fact that John Walsh is top again? What's he doing right?
First week, he made 34 trades. This week, he made only 8 trades, 7 of which were winning trades. That is an 87% win to lose a trading ratio. So he's really doing very, very well.
And Martin, what stands out about him?
I think what he does very well is he's able to move his stop losses, so he's able to lock in his profits.
Great. Now, Hilary, why is she now in the elimination zone?
We thought she was a beginner's luck by being second last time. She was among the bottom ones this week, and she did not try to trade herself out of trouble in this last day of the week. That's very, very important.
OK. And Shazad Asher.
Now, I think the way he's trading is very fearfully. So he's basically letting his emotions get the best of his trading, which is never a good thing.
OK. And finally, Mac was obviously one of the 3 that was in the elimination zone last week.
Yeah, we called him last week long-term Mac over his ability to be confidently sticking with his trades before they turn around. Now it's probably John Mac the Knife. He likes to flirt with disaster.
I agree. I mean, if you take a look at his biggest loss, that is really unacceptable. I mean, in terms of,
which is £352.50,
exactly.
which is more than everyone else put together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
OK, to sum up, Ashraf.
Well, we have a not-so-beginner's luck Hilary here, very much on the passive side, and John Mac the Knife.
And we have fearful Shazad. It's going to be a tough decision, but it's not only based upon their ROI. So we really want to be able to see, have they taken our education, our lessons, and have they really applied it to their trading? And I think that's going to be the most important factor here.
So we need to get them in here to explain themselves?
Yes.
OK.
It's time for the bottom 3 traders to try to persuade Ashraf and James that they deserve to remain at the academy.
OK, John, Hilary, Shazad, you're here for all the wrong reasons. You're at the bottom of the table, one of you for the second week in a row. So James, Ashraf...
Well, let's start by asking Hilary. You did a great job last week. You were second. And this time you are in the bottom 3. What happened?
I don't know. 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 I don't I feel that the reason I got into the bottom three is that on Wednesday I was only waiting for buys and it was a sell day, and that was what put me down. I was following what I understood you two to have said very literally.
Never follow blindly what people say. That's where the personality comes up. We give you the tools for you to make the decisions.
James, have you got questions for Hilary? Would you like to speak to Mac or Shazad?
This is the 1 week you guys should have had trading plans. Shazad, did you have a trading plan?
Yeah, I keep it very basic. Support and resistance lines, use stochastics that you've taught us. And I started the week off well. So I think what happened was I got over-eager to overtake John Walsh, who was ahead of me on ROI. And that made me a minimal loss on the FTSE and the DAX. And
so essentially you weren't following your trading plan after Wednesday, is that correct?
I wouldn't say I wasn't following my trading plan. I made the loss and then it got under my skin and I chased that loss. But I have learnt from my mistake. And I believe if, given the opportunity, you'll see that I won't ever chase a loss again or get into a trade just to catch up to my opponents.
You were chasing your losses, yeah.
I know.
And what about Mac? What about Mac's performance?
We changed your name to John Mac the Knife. Are you using a knife to throw it at the dartboard, or what are you doing? One of your losses, which is the biggest loss, is half as much as the total loss of your account. What kind of a trading plan did you use?
I do have a trading plan. The problem is I have a very bad habit of letting those losses run and not knowing actually when. I should just say, John, you're wrong.
Are you using stop losses?
When I do use stop losses when I'm not monitoring it personally. When I use them, I am getting them in the wrong place. So I tend to try and monitor it myself.
So when you're manually closing your trades, how are you doing that?
Mentally, I tend to try to stick to that 1%, but sometimes I feel, all the information around me is saying, no, that will come back, it will do this.
Okay, James, Ashraf, would you like to sum up?
Hilary, I am concerned with your insistence to take everything as a literal indication and a guide and not to show much of your initiative in approaching a trade. John, you had some really good trades. You had some really bad trades. We gave you a buy last week. Not sure if we should give you one this week again.
Shazad, I think you trade very fearfully. You trade based upon emotions. It's not going to cut it if you don't have a plan and if you're trading based upon emotions. Shazad, who should be eliminated?
I've got to base it on ROI, and based on ROI, I'd have to say John.
Hilary?
John, because of his ROI.
And John?
To be honest, in good conscience, I couldn't say that one deserves it more than the other, especially given the tenuous position I'm in.
Okay, James, Ashraf, have you decided who it is that you feel should leave the competition?
Shazad, you've survived until next week.
Thank you.
Hilary, I'm afraid your account is closed.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very, very much. It was very hard for me. I hadn't realised, actually, that there is such a wiggle. I mean, there really is. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And that was, for me, was the hardest thing.
John Mac, despite having the biggest loss out of the bottom three, is the only one whose win to lose a trading ratio improved. And the way he was able to get himself out of a big loss on election night, that is a flash of brilliance. With Hilary, she did not think for herself. We want people who have initiative, and I didn't see that from her.
So, as her beginner's luck runs out, Hilary becomes the second trader to leave the academy. Her failure to think independently has brought her trading to a close. 6 traders now remain in the competition, and they've been summoned by Ashraf and James to find out the details of the trading challenge for week 3.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 3 of the City Index Trading Academy competition. Now, as you know, we've already lost 2 traders. The competition is getting tougher, and you're going to have to call upon everything that you've learned so far if you want to avoid the elimination zone by the end of the week. This week, you're going to have to make even more crucial decisions as you trade on thousands of global shares. You're also going to have to start thinking about risk management, which is the skill of minimizing losses in order to make as much profit as possible. James, why is risk management so crucial in trading?
Well, risk management is extremely important. It is probably the most important aspect of your trading. Why is that? Well, essentially, if you lose all of your capital, then you can no longer trade. Now, in terms of what's the most important aspect of risk management, it would be using stop losses. Now, stop losses, what they do is they enforce the discipline for you to cut your losses. Now, we've noticed that a lot of you have not been using stop losses. You've been manually closing out your trades, which can be dangerous. So if you want to progress in this competition, you really have to start using stop losses.
This week, you'll have to trade individual shares, and there are thousands of them around the world. Which ones to choose, and what, and how? On Tuesday, you're going to have the job figures from the UK and the retail sales from the US. These will influence the retail shares in both countries. The volatility in, say, in the tech sector, let's say Google, could be probably a little bit higher than that of the retail sector, such as Sainsbury's, for instance. So you have to be careful.
So everyone starts from scratch again this week, so you've got an equal chance of avoiding the elimination zone if you trade wisely. We've upped your trade size to £10 a point, and you'll find that we've deposited £10,000 in each of your trading accounts, so the stakes have got considerably higher. I'm going to hand you over now to James and to Ashraf to give you some more tips and techniques to help you. I'll see you again in a few days, and we'll see how you've done. Good luck. So let's talk about risk management, the skill of making as much money as possible while keeping losses to a minimum. Let's begin with a very useful tool called stop losses. A stop loss is like a line in the sand where traders can say enough is enough, and a trade is automatically closed off to limit loss if the market goes against them.
A common trading mistake would be to let losses run. But the placement of risk management tools, for instance, stop loss orders, would let the computer do that for you rather than letting your hesitance or your indecision lead you to lose more money.
But beware, stop losses are great at limiting risk, but traders must be smart with them. If the market falls slightly and then makes a big move in their favour, the trader who has been too cautious with their stop loss would be out of the game before they'd had a chance to make any profit. Of course, it's vital that our traders learn how to manage their risk, but if they're too cautious, they'll never make any money. The smart trader knows where to place their stop loss based on their market analysis and their trading plan.
Our traders really need to keep in mind that not only must they watch their risk, they have to act upon their risk as well. And there are really two ways to do that. One is called the hard stop loss, or the actual stop loss, and the other type is called the mental stop loss. The mental stop loss is simply where the trader says, oh, at some point in time where the trade is going against me, I'm losing money, that's when I'm gonna get out manually out of that trade. Now, mental stop losses only work if you have the discipline. Therefore, for new traders, I would really recommend using the hard stop loss.
Our traders also need to consider something called hedging. In simple terms, this means placing a spread bet that is designed to come good in the event that other bets perform badly. Traders can do this by taking advantage of the fact that some markets are highly correlated or linked. For example, if the oil markets were to rise, driving up the price of petrol, share prices in airlines might fall because their costs would increase. So if a spread bet in oil prices rising were hedged with a bet that EasyJet shares would fall, a trader would be covered for either outcome. Hedging can be used to reduce the impact of a bad bet for traders.
With the third challenge about to begin, Ashraf and James present the traders with more key skills for the week ahead.
Okay guys, let's talk about risk management. This week we're going to be providing you with risk management strategies.
It's very important to start with understanding the types of orders, understand the performance of the position, the reward to risk ratio, and how it stands relative to the overall account size.
I don't plan being in the bottom three again and having to face elimination. The next time you see me in the room will be when they give me 100 grand.
Obviously, I won again, second week on the trot. There's 6 people left now, so 50% are going to end up in the bottom 3. Do I think it's going to be me? No, I don't.
I truly cannot believe I'm actually still here. I really do have to get my discipline under control.
Our 6 traders now have until midday on Friday to make as much money as they can on the global markets. They'll be battling it out to stay in the competition and stand a chance of winning £100,000. At the end of the week, at least one more trader will be leaving the academy. You can find out more from the experts about risk management and follow our traders' every move, live and online, at the City Index Trading Academy website. If you think you could do better, register with City Index today to get a live account and start testing yourself against the Academy contestants. Return to cityindex.co.uk next Tuesday to find out how they've got on and which of our traders will survive into week 4.